and you find you don't have as much problem with the allergy type issues. And so just a little bit of a tidbit for you as well there. So now we're going to go through the lesser four, and I'm going to do this more of a breakneck speed kind of pace because the first four are the more important. Now, I will see people that have chocolate allergies. Oftentimes, though, chocolate has a lot of copper in it, and copper can push out certain heavy metals as well as metallic copper. So if you have an allergy to chocolate, it may not necessarily be the chocolate, but what the chocolate is doing within your body. And if you're eating milk chocolate and you have an allergy, it might be the sugar, not the chocolate. Or it may be a combination, or it may be the paraffins that they're putting in the milk chocolate that aren't so good for you. So there's many things about chocolate that you have to kind of purify a little bit to see if you really have an allergy. Going organic is the first easiest step. Eliminate chocolate for 3 or 4 or 5 days. Go organic. Does it bother you? Hey, that didn't seem to bother me. Okay, then it's probably the fillers they put in the chocolate. So a little bonus for you on chocolate there. Next is peanuts. I mean, come on. You knew it was in the list at some point in time. How many people know that most people have a peanut allergy? And yet we actually think that it may be the fungus that grows on the peanut that we're more allergic to than the peanuts themselves. But the jury's out on that one. But if you find peanuts being not so good, they do make raw peanuts out there that you can make into peanut butter if you like peanut butter. You know, we always roast and salt everything. Well, once you roast and salt things, you destroy it. It's like the pasteurized milk. Well, wouldn't you suspect an allergy then, now understanding that if I roast and salt peanuts, couldn't I increase the allergy effect of the peanut? Absolutely. So, you know, from that standpoint, we want to go with a little bit more natural nuts and seeds. And I'll have you start thinking about fermenting nuts and seeds. You're like, what are you talking about, fermenting nuts and seeds? Message me. We'll go over it. But catch one of my podcasts. I talk about fermentation process. It's good information, and you may find that it kind of fixes your peanut allergy if you like that. So I'm just trying to give you ideas about how to have your cake and eat it too as well. So next is tomatoes. Tomatoes can be a biggie, as I'm sure many of you have heard of nightshades. I see nightshades bother people, and I see nightshades not bother people. It's going to go from person to person. If you find tomatoes tend to bother you, then that's something you need to pay attention to. So for that, you may have, like I say, the skin stuff, the nausea, vomiting, the itchy throat. All those things are possible. So tomatoes can be an iffy one for you. So let me know. And if you actually know, hey, I ate these tomatoes, they don't bother me, but all these other ones do, I'd like to know that. So let me know what you've experimented and found out. Please contact me. Last and certainly not least is beef. Now, I've had some clients that actually have a complete intolerance to beef and can't eat it, or man, they feel like their throat is going to close up and they literally need an EpiPen. And so I've seen mild beef allergies and I've seen major beef allergies. And again, sometimes it's what the cow is fed. Is the cow eating its natural environment diet, or is it eating grains that have tons of pesticides, hormones, antibiotics all in their feed? You know, these are all things to consider when it comes to beef. And so I know that when I eat a grass-fed cow, I can taste the gaminess of that cow because the fat in that cow meat is being changed from omega-6 fats to omega-3 fats, which a grass-fed animal will naturally put in their fat. And so it tastes gamey to us. It's not our normal taste buds that we've been raised on with these grain-fed cows that we eat at, you know, burgers in restaurants and hot dogs and what have you. So switching to a gamey meat can be difficult for some people because it's a fairly strong flavor. It tastes just like fish oil. I used to chew fish oil tablets. Man, do gamey like an elk. Oh my gosh, if it's really gamey, it tastes just like fish oil to me. I'm like, it's not that pleasant, but I'll eat it because I know it's good for me. I don't have to take fish oil then because I've got their good fat. So that's what you're tasting there. But also in thinking about allergies, that's why we always say, okay, we'll go organic first. Go grass-fed next. Do they still bother you? Yeah, they all do. Okay, you may have a legitimate allergy to beef, so you can't have it. But if you find all of a sudden, hey, if I do organic and grass-fed, I can eat beef just fine. Okay, so there's something pesticide-wise or in the feed that they're feeding it that you can't tolerate. And guess what their feed is? Corn. You know, it's crazy that we think, okay, well, I have a beef allergy. Well, do you? Or is it the feed that's going into the animal that's going into their meat? You know, these are all possibilities. So, you know, I like to question things. I like to expand things. I like to think about things, and because I want to have my cake and eat it too. So I hope this gave you some food for thought and had you kind of think about maybe some of my allergies. Definitely want to kind of watch. Please respond and communicate with me. I would love to hear that, hey, this made a difference in my life. I realized that I can have some foods that I couldn't have before because they weren't that natural. And that'll kind of turn your mind a little bit, and you can help the next person.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach Dr. Munson at 360-893-8586 or email him at chiroman@dr.com. That's chiroman@dr.com. Check out our current workshop schedule on Facebook at Infinity Whole Health.
The information on this podcast from Dr. Troy Munson is meant to educate the listener on a variety of health issues. It is not meant to diagnose or treat any conditions.